Hi, paper crafting friends. It's Dawn Bourgette, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Happy Sunday crafternoon to everybody. I'm going to make sure I'm where I need to be. It looks like I am. This is good. Whoops. I want to make sure I don't hear myself because I don't need that. Just a minute. Oh my goodness. One moment, please. I thought I had all the volume turned down on all my devices. I have 3 of them going here at one time. And that's not going to work. So we're just going to turn that off altogether and not deal with it. Oh my gosh. If you guys could have been here about 10 minutes ago, I was like freaking out because Facebook changed something once again. And with that being said, I was thrown off. Like, I am a super creature of habit. And if you change one thing on me, it's bad. It's really bad. Hi, Evelyn. How are you? So now, hi, Kristen. Now I'm going to have a hard time seeing your comments because my iPad is being silly. No, actually, it's the person who operates the iPad. Anyway, oh my gosh. I was like sweating up a storm 5 minutes ago thinking, how am I going to get on here? Like, what changed on Facebook since I was on here live last? Anyway, enough of that, right? Enough of that. So, hi, happy Sunday crafternoon, or good morning, or good evening, depending on when you're viewing this and where you're from. Once again, I'm Dawn Bourgette. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm glad that you're here to hang out with me. This is going to be a little bit longer of a live because I'm going to try something different, and you guys are going to be my guinea pigs. Aren't you happy? But trust me, it's good. So anyway, with that being said, we still have the May host code that's available until the end of this month. Hard to believe it's May, you know? But anyway, so go ahead and use that unless your order is $150 or more when you decide to go ahead and shop after you see what we're going to be doing today. You're going to want this stuff. But if your order is $150 or more, do not use the host code. Go ahead and get those host rewards for yourself. Okay? That's what it's all about. Free stuff. So anyway, we'll have that hanging out and I'll show it every so often, but I need to get that out of the way because we're going to have a lot of stuff going on here. Also, check this out. Isn't this cool, you guys? So this is my favorite in color of the 5. This is Parakeet Party. I always want to call it Parakeet Punch. I have no idea why. But anyway, Parakeet Party. And these come in all 5 in colors. If you were on my newsletter, you seen last week where I gave item numbers because you as customers, along with us as demonstrators, can get these. There's also grid paper, you know, that paper that we love to work on when we're making a mess. In color is available. There's a sweatshirt that's available, a hoodie sweatshirt with Abigail Rose. Oh my gosh, what am I missing? The file folders and anyway, make sure to subscribe to my newsletter because I'll be running that again, those items for the next couple weeks so that everybody gets familiar with what they can also purchase. So yeah, customers can get these too. They're big. And that would fit a venti sized pink drink in here from Starbucks. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad, right? So I just want to let you guys know, I think that they are gorgeous. And there's kind of like a shimmery, glittery effect to them. And I want all 5. I have no room for 5 of these, but I want all 5. Anyway, so I want to let you know about that. Also, some things that are coming up at the chalet. We have this beautiful card class coming up, and it is going to be held on, oh my gosh, my cheat sheet. It's going to be held on June the 9th, on Thursday, June the 9th at 10 a.m., 1 p.m., or 6:30 p.m. It's $25 or free with a minimum order during class. And I have 4 spots yet available for these awesome dude cards. So if you're in need of some generic dude cards, they're not Father's Day cards. There are more for birthday, for any guy. So once again, this will be for Thursday, June the 9th at 10 a.m., 1 p.m., or 6:30 p.m. And you need to let me know by June the 5th with prepayment if you would like to be here. Also, if you are not local to me, but you would like to have this class packet, you will need to have the Brewed for You bundle. Okay? Or you can substitute, but why would you want to? Because the whole idea is the whole thing about the beer. So if you would like to go ahead and purchase the card kit from me, let me know. Reach out to me, send me a direct message, and I'll make sure to hook you up. And like I said, you'll need to have the Brewed for You bundle, which is the stamp set and the dies, in order to create these cards. We'll get you all hooked up. Okay, and then also, let's see here. Oh, you're also going to need the DSP as well, because that's what really makes the cards as well. And then into the latter part of June, I have the Cup of Tea or the Tea Boutique product class available. So this will include product. It'll be $43, and it will include a $5 coupon that you can use on any size order during class. This will be on Thursday, June the 23rd at 10 a.m., 1 p.m., or 6:30 p.m. And it's going to include the Tea Boutique 6x6 DSP, the Tea Boutique note cards and envelopes, and the 22-24 in color matte dots. So RSVP for this is 2 weeks before the class. So you'll need to let me know by the 9th, I believe it is, for that. Okay, because I need to order the product and have it here and prep for you before you do arrive. And then what happens is I cut from your pack of paper. You get to keep everything else, all the other goodies, so you can continue to make even more cards. I'm not even a tea drinker, and I don't know, there's something about that cup of tea, the Tea Boutique suite, I love. I think mainly it's because I love all the in colors. I really love the Parakeet Party, but I love them all. And they're buddies. They all work together. And it's attractive to the eye. And I love the way they work together and play together. And that's why that suite is just so near and dear to me, because all of the new in colors are featured. Also, of course, this became active on May the 3rd. Oh my gosh, you guys. There are so many beautiful new products in here. It's wow. I still have things on my list I would love to get for sure. And a lot of the new DSP that I just, oh my gosh, I've fallen in love with. The suites of products, the bundles, they're awesome. So today we're going to actually work with He's the Man and Cup of Tea and Hues of Happiness. So we're going to work with those three today. Here's Hues of Happiness right here. Isn't it pretty? Like, how can you not love the colors in this suite? And then, like I said, Cup of Tea, which is in the front of the book. I have another favorite too, which is actually this one. I almost wanted to play with this today, and then I thought, no, got to stop it. Stop at 3. But anyway, so there's that. That's a lot of fun. And I did my last Facebook Live with you guys doing the best butterfly, or yeah, that whole suite. And then there is Cup of Tea, which is in the front here. And because, you know, not everybody watches every single live. I know, right? How dare. But just in case, you know, and if you're new with me, because I'm getting a lot of new subscribers, which reminds me, by the way, if you are a subscriber to my YouTube channel, and you know some crafty friends who would like to also get on board, have them also subscribe. The more the merrier. So I'm growing my subscriber list. I'm really excited about that. And also my blog, which is dawnscreativechalet.com. And I did a post today because I forgot, by the way, to do a post last week. Shame on me. And it was all about the weekend that I was away for a leadership, an in-person event. It was so much fun, you guys. Like, that filled my cup. I seriously needed to be there. And got to hang out with some awesome demonstrators, some very talented and knowledgeable demonstrators. It was a really, really good time. Let's see here. Where's the He's the Man stuff? Okay, there's the Brewed for You that I talked about with the next class coming up for my card class. That's so cute. And then he's the man has to be here. There it is. We found it. All right. So this we're going to work with today as well. So what we're going to do today is a double Dutch fold card. I know, right? I'm like, all of a sudden I'm in the mood for some fun folds. I don't want to say it's a fancy fold. I don't think it's that fancy. But this is something fun and different because I know I get in a rut of making the standard A2 size cards, generic cards, whether it's the hot dog or the hamburger fold, and that's it. So I haven't made a double Dutch card in forever. So I had to kind of review myself how to make the card. So let's pray that I don't mess up the instructions, for you. All right. So you're going to want to get your paper trimmer out. If you guys don't have our paper trimmer, you're missing out. I love this thing. It has both the score blade, which is the lighter color, and then the cutting blade, which is the darker. I don't know if, let me see here. Of course, we have the arm that extends out so you can work with 12 by 12 paper, which is pretty awesome. It folds back in like such. We used to have, there isn't on this one, I was going to say a compartment for chocolate. We used to have that with our other paper trimmer. Anyway, if you look, I want to show you guys something because we're going to utilize this today. And I want to make sure that you see it now so that when I talk about it, you're going to be like, okay, I know what she's talking about. But if you can see on our scoring, let me see how close I can get here. On our scoring and cutting blades, you're going to see on the side, there's that line. Whoa, I'm cutting it off. Sorry, guys. Let me see if I can move it. This is like mirror image stuff. Okay, there we go. See on the side that there's a line there? Now I went too far. Okay. Anyway, we're going to utilize that today. And it will make more sense when I describe what I'm doing. Okay? But just know you can use those and they're there for a purpose, for a reason. So first of all, let me show you, I guess, what we're going to make, right? So I have a sample here. And this is using the He's the Man and a Dutch fold card. So it opens this way and it opens this way. Cool, right? And this is super easy. I did one stamp and an early espresso and used the die. And this particular pack of paper is so cool, you guys. In fact, let me just show you. I want to show you. So this is the stamp set right there. He's all that. This is the set of dies for the bundle. I highly suggest this getting the whole suite of product because you're going to want it. And that would be the stamp set, the dies, the DSP, and I believe these little guys, the rustic something or another's. The rustic doodads, those little things. Yeah, you know, the thing. Anyway. Oh, Dawn. Anyway, so this is the dies right here. But the best part of the designer paper, I think, are all of these little guys. They're perforated, and all you do is punch them out. And you can make some really cool cards without even stamping. Now, last weekend, we did a class. We actually did stamping as well, which I love. That's the best part, right? Creativity. We did like six, 7 cards, something like that, with the He's the Man. And I don't think we stamped it all. It was all using all these little doodads. And also, if you scroll down on this page, you're going to see some other samples of some beautiful cards with no stamping at all, which I personally love because I know I say it every week, but I am a lazy crafter. I don't want to spend 5 hours on a card, but I want a card that looks super cute. Other people are like, wow, I could never do that. And then I say, yes, you can, and I can prove it. So anyway, I wanted to share those with you because you get a lot. You get 2 pages of these little punch outs and a lot of different designs. And yes, I do keep them, and you can buy these. They are just like the cases that our stamp sets come in, but you can buy them in a pack of 4. And I love using these for all those little odds and ends. They're very, very handy. And I always do keep it with the stamp set. I rubber band them together, so I always have it together when I need it. Okie dokie. So let's go ahead. I'm going to explain to you the basics of the card, the base, okay? So I made a little, oh, what do you want to call it? I made a diagram. So if you guys want to screenshot this, take a picture. I'm not even that fancy. I just take my cell phone and I just take a picture of my screen. But you can always, I want to say rewind it, backtrack. What do you call that on a live? Rewind. That sounds like, you know, old school, like me. Anyway, so this is the card base. And then you open it up, and these numbers here are for the layers. So it's not the actual measurement itself. I'll explain that in a minute. So I needed these as cheat sheets so I knew what to cut my other layers at and what to start at, okay? So it's gonna open up like this, and it's like an upside down T, basically. Hope that makes sense. And on the back, we have the true cheat sheet right here. No, I never memorized these. Are you kidding me? But I will keep this in my stash so I can continue to make these, right? That's what it's all about. So anyway, let's go ahead. We're going to get started on this. So I want to go ahead and do the He's the Man card first. Now, I prepped this before this last weekend. And I've had a serious issue with some allergies, so I've been a little brain foggy. So I'm glad I did do a lot of the prep for our Facebook Live today, a few days ago. But with that being said, let's cross our fingers and toes that I don't mess this up. All right, so first of all, we're starting with an 8.5 by 11 piece of Sahara sand cardstock. And we need to cut this down to 8.5 by 9 1/4. So we're going to go ahead and cut this side down to 9 1/4 inches. And get rid of this guy for now. Save it for later. You might need it for something. Now we're going to turn it back to the 8.5 inch side. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and score it at 2 1/8. On each side is how I found it best. So we're going to go ahead on the 8.5 side, and I'm going to score it at 2. I hate 8s. If you guys know me, you know I struggle with this so bad. And I question myself like 3 times before I cut or score. What is it that they say measure twice, 3 times, 4 times? Okay, so it's 2. I call it 2 ticks. After the 2, I get laughed at about that all the time. And then we're going to score it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it to the complete opposite side. So what would that be? 90, 180 degrees. And again, I'm going to go 2 ticks after the 2 to 2 1/8. We're going to go ahead. We're going to score it. So now you have 2 1/8 scored in on each side. And this is the 8.5 inch side. Okay, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to turn it to the 9 1/4 inch side, and we're going to go ahead and score it at 5 1/2. I had to think about that because you know what? The other day I actually cut it with my cutting blade. I was like, oh, no. How many times have you guys done that? Okay, so once again, we're scoring at 5 1/2, and then you can see it's starting to take shape now. I'm going to go ahead and turn it to the opposite side. No, I don't want to do that. Erase that. Erase. And then I'm going to, after I scored it at the 5 1/2 mark, I'm going to scoot it down to 2. I'm going to double check. Yes, 2 inches. So again, my 9 1/4 inch piece, I scored it. Oh, did I score it in the wrong spot? Let me make sure. Yeah, I did. Okay, let's start again. because I do not want to confuse you guys. We'll just start over. This just goes to show that, yeah, I'm definitely not a perfect stamper. Okay, we're going to start over. Again, this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. We're going to cut it down to 9.25 inches. Oh my Lord. Okay, there we go. On the 8.5 side, we're going to score in 2 1/8 inches. Make sure you don't cut it and only score. And then I'm going to turn it to the complete opposite side. So on this side, and score again at 2. Oh my gosh. Now I'm sweating. 2 1/8 inches. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn it on the 9.25 inch side, and we are going to score it at 5.25 inches. There we go. Okay, I'm doing good now. And then we're going to scoot it down to 2 inches. Now here's the tricky part. We're going to score it only to the score line, and I know it's really hard to see, and this is where that little guy on the edge is going to come in handy, and I do not want to cut it. See, I almost did it again. Oh my goodness. So we're going to go down to the score line, and actually what we're going to end up doing is cutting this anyway, and if I get my head in the picture, please disregard, because I'm also trying to see this as well. Okay, so I'm getting that notch on the side to match up with where the score line is. I hope that makes sense. So now what we're going to do, I want to cut it into this T. So we need these. This is going to be our flap for the front, but I don't need all this excess paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it back to the 8.5 inch side. I'm going to line up where that score line was that I made. And I like to line it up with this groove that is in our paper trimmer. It makes it really easy if you line it up right in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use that little mark on the side of the blade. And we're going to go all the way down where it kind of intersects with the score line where that we're going to need that T. And again, I'm going to go on the opposite side. I'm lining it up. I'm going to go ahead and cut. You can use your paper snips, but I honestly am a lousy person with scissors, so I don't trust myself. And this just makes a nice clean cut. And then if you'd like, you can do the same on this end to cut those flaps off. Again, I'm lining it up with the groove in my paper trimmer. And I'm going to go just to the score line, and you can match it up with that little groove on the side. And then pick up your blade, go to the other side, and work your way in to that score line. And again, I'm lining it up with that little guy that's on the side of your blade. And so when you do that, you should end up with an upside down T. Whew, we got through that. Sorry about that, you guys. I promise the other two have already been cut, so you don't have to watch that painful bit twice, 3 times. Okay, so let's see here. Grab a bone folder. I'm gonna go ahead and crease those little guys. So here you have your card base. That's pretty cool, right? Easy enough. Haha. So she says. And then I have all my little bits here. And then this is my cheat sheet as far as what I've cut my designer paper and my cardstock. Excuse me, I need to take a drink here. Pink drink. Okay. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to build our card up using my seal adhesive. And we'll go ahead and we'll work our way from the inside out. Whoops. Ooh, I got a little booger on that. Okay, there we go. So I hope you guys have had a really good weekend. What have you been up to? What's been happening? It's a beautiful day here in Michigan. The sun is out. Although I hear, oh, did I cut this wrong too? You know what? I did. Goodness sakes, we're just gonna pretend, okay? We're gonna pretend. Because I think that's gonna hang over. Yeah, it is. Oh well. Okay. Anyway, I had a weather advisory on my phone that they're calling for frost tonight. So I have to bring in my plants, which is kind of a bummer. So I just wanted to decorate the top, give it a little extra color so it wasn't so dull there. And then this piece here, I want to put together and layer. I love this paper. In fact, it's hard to cover that up because I think that is just so cute. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and glue those together. And then we're going to go ahead and layer on the front. In fact, you know what? These look like, well, I guess they'll pass, but I could have actually cut them larger. I don't know what I was thinking. I have no idea. Okay, then these little guys are 1 7/8 by 1 3/4, and I cut 4 of them. 2 for the inside, again, just to give it color. And then 2 for the outside that I'm going to add one of the dies to that I cut. This little guy here. I love that one. And I just cut designer paper for it so it had a little bit more of a design to it instead of just using espresso, early espresso. All right. And then we're going to do the exterior little flaps. Make sure, yep. Let's say, make sure I got them going the right direction because it's 1 7/8 by 1 3/4 inches is what the size of my cardstock is here. Oh, goodness sakes, there we go. Okay. Woo. Oh my goodness. I have adhesive on my fingers, and that is definitely not helping. And then we have the liquid glue, which, you know me and liquid glue. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put very, very little dabs of glue on this to keep it in place. We do have those adhesive sheets, which would actually be awesome for this. Whoa, because it would cover the entire die and make it like a sticker. And that way it's adhered completely to your project. And that stuff is great, especially for all these intricate dies that we're seeming to have more of lately. Isn't that cute? And then, let's see. I guess I really didn't cut the rest of it. So we're going to finish that one later. Other than, I do want to show you this. Because when this stands up, I want to show you guys. The purpose of it is for this here to rest on these 2 little doors. Does that make sense? So that when it's open, this is hard to show you on camera. But anyway, when it's open, it rests. And it kind of stays somewhat open on it. But I think it's really cute. Very cute. So anyway, we'll go ahead and just show you how to attach. Whoa, I almost knocked my camera off. It's one of those days. If I had a blooper page, this would probably be on the bloopers. So anyway, what I'm thinking here is that I want to make sure that when it rests between these two here. So I was thinking, which do I want? The circle or this? These two are cut from the dies from He's the Man, that whole suite, the bundle. So I used this one and this one. So I'm trying to figure out, what do I want? Let's do For the Man Who Has Everything, which is this guy right here. And I was going to say, I bet I didn't get a block out, but I did. That's a good thing. And I used Early Espresso on the Sahara Sand. This is like a test. What colors have you used? And let's see if I can do this since I cut this out first. Not bad. Could have been worse, right? Okay. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and attach that here, and then what will happen is this will rest, and when it's open, it kind of shows in the middle. So I'm going to temporarily put this down with the dimensional, very temporarily, because I'll need to decorate the rest of the card. So kind of sort of eyeball it, and we're just going to very lightly, and like I said, so when it stands up, it's going to rest and do that type of thing. You guys get the idea. So I thought with that, I cut for 2 more cards. They're all cut, so that part of it won't need to be shown again. But anyway, I wanted to show you 3 all together. So we have this one here. We'll go ahead and put that die away. And let's go ahead and let's play with Cup of Tea. So how many of you love Cup of Tea? I think that this is, like I said, such a fun set. And I'm not a huge fan of tea. So I just think that these little teacups are the cutest little thing. And it kind of has me reminisce of my grandmother, because she had a collection of teacups that were in a curio cabinet. How many of you remember? How many of you have grandmothers that maybe did that? Or maybe you do it. Maybe you collect teacups. But anyway, I just think that this is such a cute set, and I love all the little sayings that will fit inside of this guy right here. So, and there's all these cute little dies. I love the lemon slice, which actually could be used as a lime or as an orange. It depends, right? It could be anything. All right, so let's go ahead, and I've done some of the work. Oh, and by the way, wanted to show you guys the paper once again. The Tea Boutique paper. I think it's so pretty and very versatile. So it can be used on just about anything, even masculine cards on some of the colors. Not all of it, but some of it. Anyway, so that's the Tea Boutique, Cup of Tea, all that good stuff. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a different theme here. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece down. This is 4 by 3.5, which is on top of my card here. Make sure it's somewhat straight. And then I have all of these little guys here that I've pre-cut, because I am trying to save you a little bit of time. I mean, I know how much you love hanging with me, but I'm sure you don't want to be here like all day. I'm being sarcastic, you guys. Being silly. Okay, and then this is my 2 pieces of 1 7/8 by 1 3/4. I'm going to go ahead and attach those to the little flaps here. Make sure I got them going the right direction. Looks like it, kind of, sort of. And then I've also cut this piece already, because I thought, I don't want it naked inside, I want it pretty. See, that doesn't look right to me. Well, maybe it is, kind of, sort of. Okay, we're going with it. I don't get too picky. It's a card, it's handmade, right? If it was perfect, go somewhere and go buy a card. Did I just say that? You don't want to do that. You want to make your cards. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, put those down. And then I'm going to glue this one on the inside. This is as well 4 by 3.5. These were 1 7/8 by 1 3/4. Just to, once again, remind you. I'm going to go ahead and stick this down. This card will turn out better, I promise, than the last one. Oh my goodness sakes. And then on the inside, this is 4 by 5 1/4, and this is 3 3/4 by 5. And this is Parakeet Party, and of course, Basic White. So we're going to go ahead and layer these together. Whoa, maybe. It's jumping away from me. Better glue that puppy down. And then we're going to go ahead and layer it on the inside of the card, like so. All right. And there we go. And then look at all these cute little pieces of stuff. For the inside of the card, because I did the outside, actually I wanted that, well, that's okay. That's okay. So these are again at 1 7/8 by 1 3/4 inches. So you can see I'm just using a lot of the different patterns of the DSP. I love to mix and match, even if they don't totally jive together. It's just kind of fun to play with color. And I figure it all does go together because it's all in the same pack. So it's a family. All right, so we have that together. And then what I thought I would do, I cut from the dies, it's called Stylish Shapes. And we have circles, squares, and banners. I think that this is like a set that everybody should have. If you remember the stitched shapes that we had before. So this is on the same page, but yet they're a little different. And I love the stitching around them. I think that this just kind of dresses it up a bit. So I'm going to use this as my little focal point, that this barn door, Dutch door is going to rest onto. Oh my goodness, Dawn. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and attach this with a couple of dimensionals. So funny, the other day, so last week we didn't, how do I say this? We, as well, those of us who earned the incentive trip, we had a virtual incentive trip. And you're like, how in the heck would that work? It was actually kind of cool. But anyway, all of us did a little introduction video, which is kind of neat because I could put some names and faces together. And they gave us like 10 seconds to introduce ourselves and say something about us. And one gal said her name, and then she goes, I'm a dimensional overuser. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that was the cutest thing ever. I just thought that that's me. That's so me. So I already cut this out with the dies and right with the DSP. I just thought that was super cute. I love this particular pattern in there. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this up with dimensionals as well. So yes, I too am a dimensional overuser. I love that. Too cute. So we're going to put that there. I also cut out this with our dies because this is a stamp in the set as well. I'm going to go ahead and I think I'll just kind of slip it underneath into the cup. Since we have the cup with a dimensional, it's easy to do that. There we go. Isn't that cute? And I stamped that in Garden Green. And then I stamped these in Garden Green and Parakeet Party. I want to say Parakeet Punch. What is it with me? And I was thinking maybe what I do is just, I don't know, we're going to go to town with these little dies. Let's see here. Do this one. Maybe do that. That'd be fun. And let's see this guy here, like so. Yeah. All right. And then we'll glue them on with some more seal. See, isn't this coming along cute? Love it. All right, and then I have my little lemon slice, and I think I'll put that on with a mini glue dot if I have them handy here, and I do. And I think we'll put him right there, and I use crushed curry on that. Then we have all these cute little flowers that I stamped in, oh my gosh, what's the name of this color? Sweet Sorbet. Yeah, woo. I'm still learning those silly colors. Anyway, I think what I'm going to do with these and the Sweet Sorbet and the crushed curry is I want to put them on with glue dots. So let's do that. And I think we'll mix them up. I cut enough of these that we can kind of mix and match. Man, those glue dots are like super, super sticky. I guess they're supposed to be though, right? That's why they call them glue dots. All right. So yesterday, I decided, after I finally got my rear in gear, that I wanted to go check out something that I've been scoping for a while. And for those of you who are in West Michigan, I went to something called Farm Girl Flea. It was really cool, but the bummer part is I waited too long to get motivated to get down to Hudsonville, Michigan. And it was at the fairgrounds there. It was huge. And there were a bunch of vendors there. And it was like a big flea market. Oh my gosh, it was so neat. And there's something I wish I would have bought, but now I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt. They had a gentleman who restored old items like the old radios, like before even the cassette, or the old telephones that had the actual cord with it. I mean, we're talking like really old, like antique telephones with the dial and the, yeah. And what he did is he converted them into lights, like lamps you could put on your table or on your desk. Oh my gosh, I now could kick myself because I did not get it. And even though I don't have room in this space, I could see it in my new craft room that I'll hopefully eventually have. And yeah, now I'm like, why didn't I get that thing? Let's see, which stamp? I didn't stamp this yet. I'm like, which stamp do I want to use? How about I Miss You? I like that one. I Miss You. These are so tiny, I'm about ready to lose them all if I'm not careful. Nope, that's not it. You ever find that as a stamper you need to start being able to read backwards? Oh my goodness. Okay, so this says, I miss you. So we're gonna go ahead, stamp that on the tag. There we go. So cute. And I think I'll put that on with the dimensional too. Why not? I'm a dimensional overuser and I'm proud of it. Okay, there we go. And there you have card number 2 with the double Dutch fold. And again, when it opens up, it'll rest on this like so. Ta-da! Isn't that cute? Woo-woo! This one was much smoother than the first. That's probably because I had it prepped ahead of time. But anyway, so that's card number 2. We'll go ahead and put him down, put her down, and then, wait, there is more. So, I decided for card number 3, we would use Happiness Abounds. And once again, here is the DSP for that suite of product that I love so much. The dies for this fit with the DSP, so you can cut out all those beautiful flowers. And I'll show you those once again. For those who watch me every week, you're gonna be like, yeah. But not everybody watches every week. But anyway, I just think that this paper is gorge. And show you once again my little garden. My garden in a box. Whoa, right? But it was so cool. If you spend a couple hours to cut them all out, then you have your garden ready for all of your creative making stuff, right? It's ready to go. So, anywho, once again, here's the stamp set. In fact, I think I even stamped the greeting ahead of time. And then here are the dies. I should have had them out of the package. Whoa, there we go. And these two right here are my faves. I love that it makes it look like it was torn out of a notebook, like the spiral bound notebooks. Kind of neat. And this is a nice background, and it cuts out and leaves like little leaf openings in the background paper of your cards. This is such a pretty set. It really is. Another gotta have. Gotta have. All right, these little flowers need to go away. We're not going to use those. So once again, I cut out a bunch of bits and bobbles, and just once again to show you guys what I've cut them down to for the layers, because this is not the size of this piece. This is the size for the first layer, which is 4 by 3 1/4, 3 and 7/8 by 1 3/4. So once again, the same on the inside. Here would be 4 by 5 1/4. And of course, the inside of these little flaps are 1 7/8 by 1 3/4. And to show you again, my little cheat sheet, you use an 8.5 by 9 1/4 sheet of cardstock. And there are your measurements. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and do card number 3. So I decided I wanted something a little less distracting for the top of this card because I wanted to use the flowers. And I thought if there was too many flowers going on, the flowers would get lost in the flowers, if that makes any sense. But I love this paper. This cardstock is Daffodil Delight. And we're going to go ahead and glue this piece down as my adhesive ran away. I'm going to put that on the front here. Like so. And then again, these are 1 7/8 by 1 3/4. And I'm going to put, why does that look goofy? Oh, it's supposed to be like that. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and put these down on the little Dutch door flappers. I know, I have silly names for everything, you guys. Just ignore me. It's all good. Oh my goodness sakes. Okay, and then on the inside of the card, I do want those beautiful flowers because it's not going to be distracting. And I love the Night of Navy background with the flowers. It really has them pop. It's such pretty paper. I've used a lot of this DSP. Isn't that pretty? And then on the inside of the Dutch door flaps, I'm going to use the same pattern. So we'll go ahead, we'll glue those down. And this one down. And then again, this is 4 by 5 1/4 and 5 by 3 3/4. And just layering them together and then putting them on the inside of the card. So you have a chance to write that special something to the special someone. And center it. And ta-da! Isn't that pretty? It's coming together. Once again, I wanted to use one of the Stylish Shapes squares that has the stitching around it. Like I said, you guys, this is a set of those dies that you're really going to want to have. And again, I center it just enough where it's going to be able to rest on those 2 Dutch doors. And I'm going to go ahead and use my dimensionals. Whoops, I got a, never mind, a glue dot. I almost said it. I caught myself. Anyway, okay, so we're going to go ahead and put that down like so. And I've already stamped and cut out the, oh my gosh, there we go. This little guy right here with the die. And it looks almost black. This is crazy, but it is Night of Navy. But I looked at that, I was like, holy moly, what the heck is going on? That's like super dark. But this is kind of a hybrid. This is kind of a mix of Cup of Tea and Hues of Happiness or Happiness Abounds. I kind of call it both. We're going to go ahead and pop this up with dimensionals. It's a given, right? Dawn goes through a lot of dimensionals. When I order dimensionals, I order like 10 packs at a time. That's truth. And then I want to go ahead and put some flowers in my teacup. Let's see. I picked out Pool Party, Daffodil Delight, and Night of Navy. So I was thinking maybe something like that. Yeah, that looks kind of sort of ish. Well, yeah. What do you guys think? Look good? Looks good. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and just glue him down like so. And then we're gonna pop these up with dimensionals. Surprise. All right. Yep, dimensionals is something that I cannot live without. If someday they don't make dimensionals anymore, I'm going to be very, very sad. All right. Isn't that cute? OMG. Okay. And then attach this one. We'll have them go like so. And then the dies also cut out these little leaf pieces that are in the DSP as well. Pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and use liquid glue for this because I think it'll just be easier. And just put a little dab. Nothing crazy. We're going to put them, let's see, how about here? That looks good. And then another little leaf guy. And we'll stick him right there. And one more. The rule of thirds, right? We'll put him, yeah, right there. No, I don't like it there. How about here? Yeah, that looks good. Okay. And then I did stamp out congratulations, but I'm debating if I should try to cut around it or just add it, I don't know, like to it. It seems kind of like big and bulky. We're going to try something, you guys. I know, scary. I'm going to grab my paper snips. The new fad is to cut around the sentiment, right? And we do have a set, actually it's a bundle, a stamp set and some dies with some really cool sentiments. Oh my gosh, I'm not doing this very well, but you guys will get the idea. Like I said, I'm a hot mess when it comes to cutting things out. And I know they say, you know, let your left hand guide, or depending on which is your dominant that you use, and then just let the scissors cut, but do the driving with your left hand if you're right-handed. But anyway, so we have this set from one of our $1 million sellers, Lisa Curcio, and it is really cool. It cuts them out. So there's like a die for every sentiment that's in that set. And I haven't used it yet, but I am dying to play with it. Ooh, that didn't come out so well. That's okay. It's all good, right? Keep telling myself, it is handmade. It's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right, there we go. Anyway, it's super cool. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll work with it next week. We'll see. See what I can come up with. What would you guys like to see me do a live on? That's what I should be asking. Oops, I want to cut that right off because that is getting a little much there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and... Is there anything that you guys would like to see me do other than to cut this thing off at his tail, which I kind of just did, but that's all right. If there is, let me know. Okay, there we go. That's better. It's not so overwhelming, right? Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't stand myself. Okay, let's go ahead and... You guys know I'm just being silly. And there we go. Of course, it's going to look better once I add some bling to it, but we'll wait on that for now. So, with that being said, there are 3 cards, same double Dutch door fold, but yet completely different looks. So just hanging out here for a couple minutes, which one do you guys like? Let's take a little vote. Do you like He's the Man, Cup of Tea, or Happiness Abounds? Let's see if you guys can vote here. Hey, Kathy, how are you? It's good to see you. I was so wrapped up in my creativity, I didn't even see you pop on. I'm so sorry. Kathy is one of my teamies. I'm so happy that she's part of the journey with me. It's pretty awesome. Okay, let's see. Any votes? I know it's a little bit delayed. Evelyn says, Happiness Abounds. Evelyn's one of my teamies too. Hey, girly. I love it when you guys are here with me. You make me feel so happy. Awesome. And another Happiness Abounds. Cool. Well, hey guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I apologize for the little mishap at the beginning with cutting, but I'm glad I caught it too, right? But it really is a simple fold. I just have a lot of sinus congestion and it's giving me, I'm going to say, brain fog. Yeah, gotta love allergies this time of the year. But anyway, thanks again for joining me today. And if you need to watch this again, that's okay, because it'll stay on my Facebook page. I'm also going to share it in my group. It'll be posted on my blog in a couple hours and also on YouTube. And once again, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure to do so. Hit the subscribe button and hit that little bell. That'll make sure that you get all the notifications when I load a video to my channel. And if you haven't liked my page yet right here, go ahead and do so. And one more thing, you guys, if you get a chance, there's an area on my page here where you can write a review. And if you have a moment or two, and if you haven't already, go ahead and write a little review. I think that that's really cool. They're fun to read, and I know others do like to look at reviews so they feel more comfortable shopping with someone. So I would appreciate that immensely. But otherwise, thanks so much, you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend. And I will see you, next week, just before, is that just before Memorial Weekend? Or Memorial Weekend? Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Yeah. It is. So I will be on. I don't like to miss a Sunday. In fact, I felt bad missing last Sunday, but I hope I made up for it because I was sharing a lot of fun stuff. So make sure to check out all the pictures from last week's Little Escape to Okemos, Michigan. It was a good time, that leadership event. So I'll see you next week on Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern time, right here at the chalet. Have a good day, everybody. Now go make something pretty and get yourself a little bit inky. Bye-bye.